welcome back, everyone. A little bit of a break there while our officials sort out the very close times and make sure everyone who's supposed to qualify for our final races does so. Getting set for our long distance finals now. First up, it's going to be our 5 and under girls 500 meter race. So 2 competitors, you see them there getting some final instructions. That's the PA announcer here at the beautiful Xfinity Roller Sports Arena in Colorado Springs, Colorado, bringing you the Comcast American Roller Speed Skating Championships for 2019. So you see there the 2 young ladies, Tezaria Cooper from the Claremore Chaos and Afia Garach from Fast Forward. Those 2 ladies will not only be competing against each other, but they'll also be competing against Elena Garber. Elena skated this race last year in 1 minute 26 seconds and change, and that is the American Championship record. So we'll see if either Tezaria or Afia can compete with that as well as each other. So 2 skaters toeing the line here for our 5 and under girls 500 meter final. We'll be getting that underway in just a moment. This is the first of our finals here today in our rookie challenge. All the following races are our long distance rookie challenge finals. We're going to have our 5 and under girls, as you see there. They'll be followed by the 5 and under boys, then 6 to 9 girls and boys, 10 to 13, 14 to 17, 18 and up men and women, and then 30 and up men and women. And when we wrap up the long finals, we will do the short heats, followed by the short finals, and then the middle heats and finals. And we'll wrap up the rookie challenge and lead us into the evening where we'll do the individual age group time trials. So a lot of racing left to do here today, day 1 of the American Championships. As a starter, answering a final question there from Afia Garach. And once everyone's all clear with what we're doing, then we will get this one underway. And we see our head starter now there with his starting device. And he has called the 2 ladies to the line. We're ready to go. 5 laps for Tezaria and Afia. And a good start there for Tezaria. So Tezaria Cooper, Claremore Chaos, jumping out to an early lead here in this one. She's got 5 laps to go. See if she can compete with the time of Elena Garber, the record. 16 and a half seconds, the first lap time for Cooper. And there you see our other competitor, Afia Garach, making her way around the track as well. Cooper setting a very, very fast pace here. 3 laps down, she's at 45 seconds. So she is on pace to contest that championships record set last year. There's the bell for Cooper. She's got 25 seconds to get around on this lap in order to set that record. All of her lap times have been well under that, so as long as she doesn't take her foot off the gas too much, we are looking at a new American Championships record. And there it is, 1:16 is the unofficial time. We'll see the official time on the board here shortly. have a chance to take a look at that, but I think that she is safely under Garber's mark from last year. You see it there, yes indeed, 1:16.845. That is a new American Championships record. Congratulations to Tazaria Cooper, and you see there Garach finishing the race as well. In fact, her time actually below that of Garber's from last year, but Cooper getting the job done. Actually, she had just finished her last lap. So good job to both Cooper and Garach. Congratulations to both of our competitors in the 5 and under division. They will be receiving gold and silver medals for their efforts here this afternoon. Up next, we have our 5 and under boys 500 meter final. Jake Brown from Fast Forward and Camden Hines of the Claremore Chaos. Well, those two gentlemen will be getting underway as soon as they receive, again, their final starting instructions from the starter. So Brown and Hines. You may have noticed we don't have a 5 and under division in the time trial. We just lump everyone in a 9 and under division. But for the races with multiple competitors on the track at the same time, we break it up just a little bit more. U.S. roller speed skating does. As you see there, that is Jake Brown. Fast first lap time. Brown all over this race as we check in with our other competitor, Camden Hines. So Brown in control here in the early going. And we did not have a 5 and under boys division last year, so the winner here today is going to be setting an American Championship record. So Jake Brown on his way to doing that, as you see him coasting along the backstretch into the final turn of lap number 4. There's the bell. Oh, Jake Brown. Coasting to the flag, a checkered flag there for Jake Brown. He gets the win in the 5 and under boys rookie 500 meter race. And there is Camden Hines. He's got one more circuit to make, and while he does that, we can take a look at Brown's official time. 1:19, almost 1:19 flat. Very good lap times being put up there by Jake Brown to get the win. And there is Hines finishing the race as well. Good job to that young man. He'll take second place. Moving right along to our 6 to 9 year old girls rookie division 1,000 meter final. So some really good heats, a lot of fast times put up in this one, but the fastest by far, Lainey Ringgold with a 2:01, absolutely blowing away the field in heat number 1. She's our top qualifier. Behind her, Claire Pilkington, Alexis Turlow, Diana Ganasan, Tanya Prabhu, McKenna Luther, and Brinley Hines rounds out the field here. 7 racers, so a crowded line. You see there Hines is our 7th qualifier, and she is going to start on the back line. But very close times put up by Pilkington, Turlow, Ganasan, and Prabhu, separated by just about 2.5 seconds. The times of those 4 ladies in their respective heats, and then of course Ringgold with the very impressive 2:01. So we'll look to see if Lainey can put her stamp on the final the way she did in the heat. And She is, in addition to the field, as we have a false start here on our first try, Keegan Schneider holds the record for the American Championships in this division and distance. Is a 2:07, a 1:57, the record to beat, as we see the starter give the false start yellow card out there too. I believe that is McKenna Luther, leaving just a bit early. And another false start. Let's see who this one's on. Two false starts here in this one. It looks like this one's going to be on 276 on the helmet. That's Claire Pilkington. So Pilkington looking to get a little bit of an extra jump on the field. Can't do that. Let's try it a third time. Got to be some nervous skaters down there. These are young competitors. This is their first final. They worked hard to get here, had to race through the qualifying round in order to get a chance to be on the track right now. And we do have the clean start on the third try. And out in front, as we expected, Ringgold, followed by Pilkington. Pilkington going to try to stay in striking distance. Behind her, it is Luther. So Ringgold, Pilkington, Luther in third, as the field starting to stretch out. You saw the distance that Ringgold was putting on Pilkington there about a quarter of the way through the race, and that lead is continuing to grow, at least here in the early stages. Pilkington's going to need quite an effort to chase down Ringgold, or some sort of mishap to befall Laney, which has not been an issue for her up to this point. We certainly hope nothing like that happens here in this one. 5 laps to go. We can take a look at her lead over the other competitors. It's huge, half a lap. Typically equates to somewhere between 6 and 10 seconds, depending on how fast everyone is going. So Laney Ringgold once again in charge. The battle for second place, though, you see there Pilkington and Luther. So McKenna Luther contesting the silver medal. That is the race. As we check back in with our leader, there is Ringgold. She's lapped a few competitors. She is just coasting her way through. 2 laps to go for her. And the race for second continuing behind Ringgold, as Ringgold on the bell lap. She passes, that was Diana Ganasan that she was overtaking. So Ringgold is going to take it home easily. And you see the checkered flag waving there for Ringgold. And our two, the race for second and third, those two are going to be coming around to the line here shortly. There they are, and it looks like it's Pilkington holding off Luther. So a great showing there from Luther. One of our slower qualifiers, but she stepped up and brought it. And you see there Laney Ringgold. As we take a look at our final time, Ringgold again a blistering pace, 2:02, a full 11 seconds ahead of Pilkington and Luther, who finish in about a quarter of a second apart. So again, Ringgold showing dominance here in this distance and sets the American Championships record by just about 4.5 seconds. So she's in the record books now, as well as on top of the medal stand. And again, McKenna Luther, one of the qualifying times to just sneak into the final, but stepping up when she made it to the big stage and taking home that bronze medal. As we head back to the starting line, it's our 6 to 9 year old boys rookie 1,000 meter race. Sean Cook of the Roll Arena Rockets was the winner of Heat 1. Nathaniel Harmon won Heat 2, and Damian Huff won Heat 3, so they were our automatic qualifiers. After them, it came Caden Castle, Isaac Armstrong, Thomas Winfield, Oliver Hutchins, and Casey Starkey, rounding out our 7-man field. So the qualifying times ranging between 2:04 and 2:12, so very fast speeds here for all 7 of our competitors. And they will be racing against the record time set by Calvin Moss last year. He came in at 1:58, so he got under that 2-minute mark. We'll see if all these fast skaters pushing each other around the track can help them drop their times down into that range. We got a false start. It was there on the inside. That's him right there, Caden Castle from Fast Forward. So Castle with the false start. So he gets the yellow card. Gonna have to be careful now. If he gets another one, he's out. No good working to make it here to the championship round and then not even have a chance to compete. So Caden's gonna have to keep those nerves in check. And a very clean start that time. And out to the front goes Harmon, Nathaniel Harmon of the Texas Speed Club out in front. Caden Castle was in second, now he's in third as Damian Huff moves into second place. Harmon and Huff getting some separation from the field. It's Harmon and Huff. Huff closing down the gap on Harmon. Little stumble there by Harmon. Harmon and Huff first and second. There's a pack behind them. You saw the 4 competing for third. How long will these two stay out in front? Will they extend the lead or will the pack pull them back? Castle currently sitting in third. He just gave it up to Armstrong as there goes Huff. Huff by Harmon for the lead. We're just about halfway through this thing. It is Huff, it is Harmon, and it is the rest. Huff and Harmon 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Armstrong now starting to chip into that lead. He's got separation from the rest of the pack, but has not been able to make contact with the leaders. Huff took the lead about 3 laps ago. He has not relinquished it, but Harmon is right there waiting for a chance to make a move. Harmon looking a little winded there as he comes around the turn. 4 laps to go for these two as they begin to overtake the back of the field. Huff and Harmon, 3 laps to go. Doesn't look like Harmon is going to have enough, and now he is starting to fade. Armstrong has come back into the picture, and Armstrong has passed Nathaniel Harmon. Huff still out in front. Huff headed for the bell. Armstrong behind him. Then it is Harmon. So Huff, Armstrong, Harmon. Armstrong, a big effort to get this close. He's going to contest it. Down the final turn, it's Huff and Armstrong. Excuse me, that was Sean Cook. And Sean Cook with the dip there at the end. You see the arms raised. What a comeback by Sean Cook. So Sean Cook with the big effort in the second half of the race, and he is going to take the win. Sean Cook, fantastic job there. We take a look at these final times, and look at that. 4/100ths of a second separating Cook and Huff. So Sean Cook, Damian Huff, and Nathaniel Harmon are going to be on the podium for this one. A tremendous job once again, Sean Cook coming back from way back in the final half of the race. As we move on in our program, next up it's our 10 to 13-year-old girls rookie division. The 10 to 13-year-olds skate 1,500 meters at this level, and that is what they will be doing here. So Leticia Detro, she won Heat 1. Layla Wishard won Heat 2, but she did have a false start, so that false start follows her into this championship, and if she has another one, she would be disqualified. Next qualifier is Rachel Wanick, Kendra Benjula, Emma Rife, Shai Monroe, Gabriella Carl, also skating with a false start, and Cheyenne Bivens rounds out our final field in our 10 to 13-year-old rookie girls division. So Detro with an excellent performance in heat number 1, Wishard taking the win in heat 2, and Wanek, who gave Detro a run for money there in heat 1, the next fastest qualifier. We look for the 3 of them to push the pace here in this one as the starter gets everyone organized for the gun. So again, a crowded starting line. 8 competitors. And a clean start on the first try, as it is Wishard and Detro out in front early. Layla Wishard, Letitia Detro, 1 and 2. In at third, it's Gabriella Carl. She had that fall in the heat, still managed to qualify. So Carl looking to show what she can do if she gets 15 laps unimpeded. And she is right there with the 2 heat winners from the semis. And there's a fall. All 3 of the front 3 go down. 4th also went down. That was a bad crash. Cheyenne Bivens ends up out in front, and we are going to have to halt the action here as this crash was very, very bad. Right there as they came out of turn 2 in front of the crowd here. The officials running over to protect the skaters, and we are going to take a short break while the officials and medical staff make sure that everyone down there is okay. So we will see you when we are in a position to resume racing. And welcome back, everyone. Everyone involved in that crash did get up and skate off the floor under their own power, so that was excellent to see. Very happy to see that. Looks like what the rink official or the race officials want to do is go ahead and move forward with the program, and I believe they're going to rerun that race here later on in the program. As you can see, the officials still checking out the area of the rink where the crash took place. See if we can show you that. Yeah, there they are. Working on making sure that everything's clear, the floor's dry, no sweat, anything like that still on the floor that could lead to further crashes in the area. So that was quite a collision between the top 4 competitors. The top 3 went down. The 4th ended up in the wall. So a real tough deal there for our 10 to 13-year-old rookie girls division. But they seem to be shaking it off pretty well. As we said, everyone got up under their own power, and looks like they're getting reset down at the far end of the floor, so they'll rerun in that race as soon as they have a chance to. But in the meantime, we are going to do the 10 to 13-year-old boys 1500 meter race. So that race includes our 3 Central Florida Speed racers who have been dominant so far. They won all 3 heats. Tyson Fletcher in Heat 1, Mendez, Christian Mendez, that is, in Heat 2. Ved Patel won Heat 3. They are going to be joined by 5 other racers: Dax Pilkington, Jaden Roberts, Donathan Dietrich, Luke Armstrong, and Jesse Smith. If you were with us during the preliminary heats, you remember Dax Pilkington with the sneaky fast comeback at the end of the race for Heat 3, nearly getting the better of Ved Patel at the line, as Ved had taken his foot off the gas a little too early. But so Pilkington's our fastest qualifier after those 3 winners. He was well under the 3-minute mark with a 2:55 time. The record for this distance in this division held by Nasir Jackson. It's 2:49.97. From what we saw in the preliminary heats, we've got at least 4 racers who are very capable of putting up a number faster than that. So we'll see what they can do as they toe the line to get started here in the 1500. And off the line, it is the 3 Central Florida Speed boys out in front. Looks like it's Mendez in first, then Fletcher, then Patel. Mendez, Fletcher, Patel out in front. Pilkington trying to hang on and stay within distance to strike them at the end of the race if they get a little sloppy or lose focus. So Pilkington trying to hang on to the lead pack made up entirely of Central Florida Speed. You see him there. It's still Mendez, Fletcher, and Patel. And there is Pilkington. He is not going away. He's staying up there with them. So those 4 are competing for the podium spots, and the other 4 are about a third of a lap, maybe almost half a lap back, competing for 5th. As you see there, a nifty move, Fletcher going around the outside. Mendez a little sloppy through that turn, but still all 3 of those Central Florida skaters right there together. Pilkington still trying to stay in the frame, and now there goes Mendez back in front. So Mendez and Fletcher trading the pacemaking duties here about halfway through the race. Patel has been with them the whole way in 3rd. Now Mendez starting to assert himself. The other 2 don't seem particularly interested in matching his move. You see him there, they stayed together, but Mendez has opened up now a good second and a half, maybe even 2-second lead as you see him cross the line there. And he is all alone. Patel has moved into 2nd place, but at this point, 1st place out of reach of everyone, unless some catastrophe befall Mendez. Skating easy through the line once again is Mendez. There you see the other 2 as it is Patel in 2nd now. And we return to our leader as Christian Mendez, who we saw lap the entire field in his primary heat. He's threatening to do that again. Only 3 other skaters on the same lap as him. As behind Mendez, Patel has now put distance on Fletcher, so it is going to be Mendez. As you see, there's the checkered flag for Mendez, and Patel right behind him for 2nd, and then Fletcher. So 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for Florida Speed as Dax Pilkington hangs on for 4th. So there's a championship for Central Florida that they don't have to declare for themselves. They earned this one right here on the floor. As we take a look at our final standings, and there you see the 2:46.7 by Christian Mendez. That is a new American Championships record. Patel also skated faster than Jackson did last year, but Mendez with the record. Patel in at 2:49, Fletcher 2:53, and Dax Pilkington in fourth, 2:56. Everyone else coming in above the 3-minute mark. Next race up here at the American Championships at the Xfinity Roller Sports Arena in Colorado Springs, Colorado, is our 14 to 17-year-old rookie ladies division 1500 meter final. We did not have any preliminary heats in this division, so we have 7 racers all coming in seeded based on their time trial. Of course, a 1-lap time trial has really no significance in a 15-lap long race like this. We're going to see Sabrina Labs from Allegro Speed, Kenna Pfeiffer from Fast Forward, Morgan Lambert, also of Fast Forward, and then we have 4 Team Illini skaters in Amy Bolin, Jaden Turner, Hannah Porto, and Alyssa Rowan. So the record for this race for the championships is currently held by Vada Forbach. Vada skated a 3-minute 4-second 9/10 1500 meter last year, so that's a blistering pace for 15 laps, just under 3:05. We'll see if any of these 7 skaters can challenge that, as the officials discussing something down there, huddling up. I suspect it's probably to do with that 10 to 13-year-old girls division crash, and if any penalties or disqualifications are going to result from that. As you see, one official walking that way. The direction he went out of the frame is to the holding area. So not sure what that was. We'll try to get some clarification on it as soon as we can and clear that up for you. But in the meantime, we are going to run this race. Again, it's the 14 to 17-year-old ladies rookie 1500 meter final. Looks like we're ready to get this one started. And a clean start for our 14 to 17-year-old rookie ladies 1500 meter. In front in the early going, it's Kenna Pfeiffer. So Pfeiffer followed by Jaden Turner. Turner just gave up her spot to Lobbs. So Sabrina Lobbs now in second behind Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer, Lobbs, then Turner. In fourth for the moment is Alyssa Roan, although she doesn't look content to stay there. Now it is Pfeiffer getting a bit of separation on the rest of that lead pack. So Pfeiffer out in front, 3 skaters competing for second and third behind her. It's Turner, and then Lobbs and Rowan as we continue to look at Pfeiffer build on her lead. A third of the way through the race here. She's got up to about two and a half second lead on the field. So a good job there by Kenna Pfeiffer to take control of this one early on as she crosses the start-finish line yet again out in front. A three-woman race behind her for second. There you see, there they are. And now it is Rowan who's moved into second place, tailed by Turner with Lobbs trying to hang on. They've put a little bit of distance between themselves and her as we check back in with our leader. Excuse me, that's Amy Bolin, who's also out on the course. Well, there's our leader. There is Kenna Pfeiffer. So Pfeiffer overtaking another competitor and cruising to a victory here in this one. She's got 4 laps to go. Kenna Pfeiffer leaving no doubt in this one, leads it wire to wire, lap over lap. She is growing the lead. You see there, she's actually now a lap up on Sabrina Lobbs, who had been in the group contesting the final 2 podium spots, as Pfeiffer is on her final lap headed for the checkered flag. And next is going to be that woman right there. Jaden Turner is going to finish in second. And Alyssa Rowan going to come in third place. As you see the rest of our competitors finishing up. And we will head to the final board. So you see there Pfeiffer turning in a 2:49, so she absolutely destroys the previous record held by Forbeck by every bit of 15 and a half seconds. Jaden Turner also coming in under 3, and Alyssa Roan coming in at just over the 3-minute mark, as the rest of our competitors putting up very respectable times as well. So a good, strong win there for Pfeiffer. And it looks like we have back out at the starting line our 10 to 13-year-old girls division. So these rookie 10 to 13-year-old girls going to try that 1500 race again. The race called to a halt after a massive crash that included the top 3 finishers and the top 3 leaders at the time, and forced the skater in 4th place to kind of slam into the wall. So the officials made the decision for the safety of everyone to call a halt to the race, and we are going to run it again. So review quickly the competitors in this one. It's going to be Layla Wishard, Rachel Wanek, Kendra Bengela, Emma Reif, Cheyenne Bivens, Gabriella Carl, and Shai Monroe. Looks like Leticia Ditro, our top qualifier, has not returned to the track, as we have a false start there. So Ditro is out. Unclear at this point whether that is due to an injury sustained in the fall or a disqualification of some point because of her causing the collision. So hope for the best for her. Hopefully we'll see her again shortly in one of the other distances. She's a tremendous skater, a tremendous competitor. She'll be missed here in this final. We are underway here in the 1500, out in front in the early going. It is Wishard, followed by Wanek, and then it is Carl in third as she makes a move around Bivens. So Wishard, Wanek, Carl, and Bivens, the top four here at the moment, as Wishard and Wanek trying to put some distance between themselves and the rest. Gabriella Carl looks like she's going to have something to say about that, as she has made contact. That is a leading group of three now, so good job by Gabriella Carl closing the gap down in the first third of the race. 10 laps to go. Wishard still out in front. Carl, nice inside line around the turn to take second. So Wishard, then Carl, then Wanek. 1, 2, and 3. As we are just about halfway home in this one. Wanek now starting to falter, starting to drop a little bit of time from the leaders, Wishard and Carl. This is shaping up to be a great race to the end for these two. Wishard and Carl have now opened up nearly a second worth of a lead on Rachel Wanek. 5 laps to go, 2/3 of the way through this one. And these are your leaders, neck and neck down the back straight. Again, Gabriella Carl with the nice inside line around turn 3. Carl and Wishard. 2 laps to go. Wishard now trying to make a move, running out of time. She's got to figure out a way to get around Gabriella Carl. Carl starting to pump the legs a little bit faster. Carl now with a little bit of an advantage. Some space between them. There's the bell for Gabriella Carl. And Wishard not able to match the move, and Gabriella Carl is going to coast home for the win. So Gabriella Carl, a great job there. Started out the race a little bit back in third, closed the gap down through the middle part of the race, and then exerted her will in the final 5 laps to get the win. As we take a look here at her final time, a 3:05 and change. Not going to, oh, excuse me. That's not going to be a record for the championships, but it's more than enough to get her a gold medal here today, as she bests Layla Wishard by 2.5 seconds. Rachel Wanek hangs on for third, finishing neck and neck for 4th and 5th. Reif and Bivens rounding out the field. And we return to the starting line here at the Xfinity Roller Sports Arena. It's our 14 to 17 year old men 1500 meter rookie challenge race. This final heat going to feature Mason Liebhaber, Nathaniel Hines, Sam Ringgold, Glenn Bunnell, Addison Luther, Caden Gerling, and Tyler Stewart. starting officials double checking everything. The record in this one belongs to Derek DeLong. He raced a 2:38.474 last year. So that is the mark to beat if you want to put your name in the record book for these fellows here in this one. And the racers get set. Clean start. And around turn one, it's a tight pack led by Mason Lieberhaber. He gives up the lead around the second turn. Glenn Bunnell, now Lieberhaber back. Bunnell wide around that turn. Not sure what happened there. Sam Ringgold in at third, so a tight pack there. You see 6 of our 7 racers all there together, 3 abreast around the turn, and there's a crash behind the top 3. 4 and 5 going down. They're back up and still in the race. As we see once again, around they go. That is Bunnell and Lieberhaber. Contact again around the corner there. Ringgold staying with them. Lieberhaber, Bunnell, Ringgold. 1, 2, 3, a third of the way done, as they are now starting to overtake the competition. Pushing the other racers off to the side. So it was a 5-man race and then the fall, and now it's down to 3, and Lieberhaber trying to make it a 1-man race as he has pushed out in front just a little bit of space. Certainly not insurmountable for the other 2, but they are going to have to make an effort to close down that gap if they want to contend for the championship. Lieberhaber still looking strong. 9 laps gone for him and the other 2 leaders. Only 3 skaters are on the lead lap at this point. Lieberhaber, Bunnell, and Ringgold, with Lieberhaber out in front. Hasn't really extended the lead much, but he also has not given any time back to Bunnell or Ringgold. As you see, they're all alone in the frame. It is our leader, Mason Lieberhaber. As you see, Lieberhaber making his way around. He's got 1 lap after this to go. Behind him, Bunnell has opened up space on Ringgold. So the podium pretty set in this one. As you see there, Lieberhaber coming around the final turn. He's going to grab the checkered flag. And they're taking the victory lap, the cool down lap. See our next race ready to start. And we'll take a look at that final time as Mason Lieberhaber, 2:40 and 9:10, so just under 2:41 for Lieberhaber. So he is off the pace of Derek DeLong. DeLong's record will stand, but Lieberhaber takes the gold. Bunnell will take silver. Ringgold in for third. Everyone else 3 minutes plus on the finish. You have to wonder what would have been different if there hadn't been that crash back on lap 3, taking out our 4th and 5th place racers at the time. I believe it was Luther and Gerling that were involved in that. So would have been a different race, but this is the race we got. Lieberhaber doing a great job from start to finish, leading the way, and he gets the gold medal. As we see, go back to the finish line, there's Tyler Stewart finishing the drill Great job by Mr. Stewart. And up to the line now is our 18 and above ladies 1500 meter final. You see the officials there have something under review, something that they are going to discuss. And when they are all set and ready to go, it is going to be our 1500 meter 18 and above ladies final featuring Hannah Hawley of Olympic Speed. She's the only competitor, so she just has to make her way around the track 15 times and she will collect her gold medal. So as Holly gets set to start her 1500 meter race, it's worth mentioning that this will be a record-setting pace, whatever she does finish with, as no record in this division was set last year. Did not have an 18 and above ladies rookie division contested. So congratulations to Hannah Hawley. Gold medal and American Championships record preordained for Miss Hawley as she gets started. Twelve laps to go for Hawley. Holly is a third of the way through the contest. Her total time just over a minute 22 after with 6 laps down. And we can take a look at some of the times, the lap times that Holly's put up as she's halfway through the race. See there, the best lap, 12.8. Her last lap, just a little bit slower than that, just over 14, 2:05 total time, 2/3 of the way through. We'll see what she did on this last lap as she crossed the finish line there. That lap time was 13.8, so pretty consistent pacing here for Hannah Hawley, excuse me. It was good sportsmanship there. Saw the wave from the stage competitors cheering Hannah on as she makes her lonely way towards the finish line. There they go again. All right, good job, folks. Good stuff there. Speed skaters, even at the highest level, great sportsmanship. It's a community. They all support each other. Makes it a really fun environment to be around. there's the bell for Holly. Hannah Holly, one more lap to go. And there she is across the line. Your American champion and American Championship record holder, Hannah Holly. Final time, 3:28.9, so under 3.5 minutes for Hannah. A good time. Got to be hard to push yourself and push the pace when you're out there all alone, so good for her. Next, we have our 18 and above men's rookie 1500 meter. 3 competitors in this one. We have Nick Hoffman, Will Zandler, and Paul Rector III. So 2 Kentucky Speed members and a stallion out there for this 15-lap race. And a clean start off the line. And there you saw them go around the line, and there they are in order. It is Hoffman, and then Rector, and then Zandler. Oh, and there's a nifty move from Zandler. So Zandler out in front. Hoffman not willing to take that very long. So Zandler in there against a couple of teammates. You have to figure Hoffman and Rector are going to work together a little bit to help each other out. So Will Zandler in there on his own. Nifty footwork there. Rector the third coming in the corner. Not sure where that space was that he found, but Hoffman taking the lead right back. And Zandler getting involved there too. And there's contact between Zandler and Rector. They both go down behind Hoffman, and that is going to clear the way for Nick Hoffman. Hoffman was our top qualifier from the time trial with a lap time of 12.1. So he was the favorite coming in, you might say. And now the path is clear halfway through the race as Hoffman is all alone, and there after the fall, trying to drive their way back in, Zandler and Rector the third. Skating together, but Hoffman well ahead of them both. Keeping his head down and just doing what he needs to do to stay in front. He can see him easily enough out in front of him as he's almost three-quarters of a lap ahead. And there's the race as Rector the third has taken second place away from Zandler, and both of them moving a little gingerly after the contact and the fall. So Nick Hoffman sees his way clear to the win. He's got 3 laps left to do it. And there's the bell for Nick Hoffman, so one more for big Nick Hoffman. Grinding his way around the track one last time. Hands in the air, that's a win. Any way you slice it, that's a win for Hoffman. And you see there is Paul Rector III in for silver, and not far off his pace, Will Zandler. So Zandler and Rector III overcoming the contact and the fall, finishing the race in second and third. But there's the man, Nick Hoffman, getting the job done. As we take a look at those final times, there's the 3:03 for Hoffman, Rector III coming in at 3:11, and Zandler 3:15. So eventful rookie challenge, 18 and above men's 1500 meter. And it ends with Nick Hoffman getting the win. As we now return to the starting line and the 30 and above ladies 1500 meter rookie challenge race. I'm gonna have Shannon Dagenhart of Infinity Racing, Jamie Smith of Stallions, Brooke Cianciola from CSC Speed, and Monica Gorgas. She's out there by the boards on the far outside of the starting line. Those are the four women who will be contesting this one. The American Championships record for this division in this race held currently by Jamie Barnes. She put up a 3:28.5 back in 2018. So that is the number to beat for these four ladies to get into the record books. And we're ready to go. 15 laps for these four competitors. That's Cianciola out in front early, followed closely by Smith and Dagenhart and Gorgas. All four competitors racing in a pretty tight group for the moment. A little bit of a split between first and second and third and fourth. Dagenhart and Gorgas now looking to bridge the gap over and make it one group of four. Cianciola and Smith still running first and second. And Gorgas sliding up into third there, and also making contact with the leaders. So we've got all four racers right bunched together as we are about a third of the way through this one. All the racers seem to be content with the status quo here through the middle portion of the race. No changes since about lap number 4. We are running Cianciolo, Smith, Gorgas, and Dagenhart. 5 laps to go. Now there's a move. Gianciolo seems to have run out of gas as Smith and Gorgas both go right by her, and she has not responded. Degenhardt by her as well. So Gianciolo seems to have cracked, moving all the way to the back of the field. Smith and Gorgas now out in front all by themselves. Those two. Then you see Degenhardt there, and Gianciolo bringing up the rear of the race in 4th position at this point. And here is the contest with 3 laps remaining. It is Smith and Gorgas. Gorgas going to try to sneak by on turn 1 and does. So Gorgas out in front of Smith now. Monica Gorgas, a late charge as she is in the lead at the bell. So Gorgas and Smith. Gorgas taking the turn wide. Smith might have had some room, couldn't get by, and now to the line we go. And it is going to be Monica Gorgas in first. Jamie Smith is going to take second. So the Stallions teammates, hometown racers here in Colorado Springs, go 1-2. Shannon Degenhardt into third as you see our top finishers finishing up a victory lap, and Gianciolo finishing up her race as Monica Gorgas, the 3:31.6, besting Jamie Smith's 3:31.9. Nice finish by both of those ladies. Degenhardt coming in 3:43, and Gianciolo, after leading for the first half or so of the race, fading dramatically, just falling off the pace and rounding out the field. Back to the starting line we go. It's our 30 and above men's rookie 1500 meter race. Marquivas Humphrey, Chris Laban, Eric Hutchins, Chris Thurlow, Gary Reif, and Brian Smith. Brian Smith was supposed to run in the race. Looks like he has scratched, as I do not see him out there. So no Brian Smith. So 5 racers in this one: Humphrey, Laban, Hutchins, Turlow, and Reif. And quickly off the line, and by the first turn he was already well out in front, is Marquivas Humphrey. He's all alone out there in the lead. Chris Laban made a nifty move to get into second, but it is a distant second already to Marquivas Humphrey. So Humphrey already overtaking competitors. Gary Reif moving up and out of the way as Humphrey continues to smoothly run around this track. Chris Laban gamely giving chase, but doesn't look like he's going to have what he will need in order to close the gap on Humphrey. So Humphrey again overtaking Reif. Laban slowly giving up ground and time to Humphrey. As you see Laban crossing the line up there, now nearly half a lap behind the leader. Humphrey continuing to lap the field, just doing what he needs to do halfway through. He is well ahead. 7.5 second lead on second place. Chris Laban has Marquivas Humphrey, so he is going to cruise all the way to the win in this one. 4 more laps to go for Humphrey. And now that is Marquivas Humphrey lapping the second place competitor. So a complete lapping of the field for Marquivas Humphrey. Total domination here in this one. There's the bell. And Marquivas Humphrey, wire to wire, never in doubt. Total and complete domination of the field for Marquivas Humphrey. Everyone else with at least one more lap to go, as Humphrey is already about midway through his second slowdown lap as he looks to make his way off the floor, taking his time. As you see, yeah, let's look at it. We look at take a look at the final time put up by Humphrey, 2:45.5. Huge. Look at those lap times, 10-second laps. Chris LeBon putting in one 10 sub-11 lap. So he did well. Nice time there, 3:08 to take second. Turlow coming in third, Hutchins in fourth, and Gary Reif still out on the course finishing up his race. So we, with the rookie challenge, you see some of the officials there as we pan out, and there we do find Mr. Reif. With his rookie challenges, it's people that have raced for less than 2 years, and that could be as little as a couple weeks. So sometimes you get some skaters that are new to the sport, really enjoy it, want to come out here and compete a little bit, and sometimes they're, these new skaters, just a little bit slower. But as I mentioned earlier, the speed skating community is exactly that. They're going to cheer new skaters like Mr. Reif here along all the way. You can hear the cheering from the stands as he is nearing the end of his 1,500-meter race. One more to go for Gary Reif. There is Mr. Reif finishing up his run, and with that, we are going to go to some awards here. Take a look at what the awards are. We're going to start with those 5 and under competitors from our long distance races. For them, it was a 500 meter, and we're going to go up the age groups from there. So let's take a look at them handing out some hardware.
Okay, so now we have the rookie 5 and under girls 500 meter final, and in second place we have Afia Girach from Fast Forward, and in first place we have Cesaria Cooper from Claremore Chaos.
All right, stop it.
Hey, nice smile, lady. In first place we have Jake Brown from Fast Forward. And Jake set a new record for the 500 meter fun. Smile, Jake.
Turn it around. Turn.
So you can see the pretty part. There you go. Forward. In second place, more chaos. And in first place, we have Lainey Ringgold from the Roll Arena Rockets. And nice smiles.
Good job. Congratulations.
second place, we have Damian Huff from the Roll Arena Rockets. And in first place, we have Sean Cook from the Roll Arena Rockets.
Congratulations.
Woo! Very nice, guys. Good smiles. From Team Illini. In second place, we have Layla Wishard from Fast Forward. And in first place, we have Gabriella Carl from the Stallions. Nice smiles. Act like you won something.
Congratulations.
In second place, from Central Florida Speed, Ved Patel. And in first place, from Central Florida Speed, with a new record for the 1500 meter, Christian Mendez.
Congratulations.
They changed spots.
Hey, wait a minute, you got
Yeah.
That's not the way.
Smile, everyone. Big smile, please.
I have to have a picture with the speed.
I know.
Okay.
You got
Hands
it.
together.
Kid.
Let me
Okay.
get up there.
Hold on a minute. Let's get the
Smile,
president.
everyone.
I'll let the parents do this with you.
Yes.
Okay, hold on a minute, boy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
In second place, we have Jaden Turner from Team Illini.
Hey, congratulations.
And in first place, we have Kenna Pfeiffer from Fast Forward.
Hey, congratulations.
Gold from the Roll Arena Rockets. In second place, Glenn Brunel from CSC Speed.
Congratulations.
And in first place, Mason Liebhaber from Allegro Speed.
So congratulations there to all of our long race winners. And we are back to the track, back to the action. We are going to start things off here in the short race heats with our 6 to 9-year-old boys division. Looks like we're going to be running 4 heats in the 6 to 9-year-old boys rookie 300 meter qualifier.
And the rookie, 18 and above, ladies.
With four heats, that means first and second is going to go to the semifinal from each heat. So we are going to have the preliminary level here, then we're going to have semifinals, and we're going to have finals as well in these short distances. So only 3 times around for these young racers. This heat number 1 featuring Thomas Winfield, Isaac Armstrong, Ethan Rivera Rosado, and then the Gorgases, Alex and Owen, both taking part in this one. So 5 competitors toeing the line here in heat number 1. And we're going to have a false start. Looks like it's going to be there on the inside. Number 2, that's him. Owen Gorgas leaving a little bit early. So Starting officials making sure everything's reset, ready to go. The start, super important here in the race, and that's going to be a second one. So that is going to be trouble for young Owen Gorgas there. He is going to be out. Disqualification for 2 false starts, and he is going to have to head off the floor. You see there, he knew it. Frustration on his face, but handling it pretty well for such a young competitor. Youngsters sometimes known to get really upset, things like that. But we're off on a clean start with a 3rd try, and leading the way is Winfield. So Winfield out in front. Rivera Rosado, who we saw disqualified in the long race, not so this time, and he is in 2nd place behind Winfield. So Winfield, Rivera Rosado, and then Armstrong behind him. So there are your 2 leaders, Winfield and Rivera Rosado. As they're already coming around, these sprint distances go fast, and Winfield and Rivera Rosado in to the next round. Take a look at the final times there. Winfield, that's a really big cushion for such a short race, as we see there he put in a 35.3, and that was actually Kenny Schmitz, who was not on our race roster, coming in 2nd, not Ethan Rivera Rosado. Isaac Armstrong did come in 3rd, and Alex Gorgas in 4th, as we saw Owen Gorgas disqualified on the double false start. So up next, heat number 2, 6 to 9 boys sprint distance 300 meters. Nathaniel Harmon, Caden Castle, Darius Cooper, Premi Gowardipe, and Brentley Berg. A little bit of discussion between the starting officials and the official timers. So they're going to look to get that straightened out here directly so we can get this race started. Once again, at this distance, it is three laps, and 1st and 2nd place in each heat advances. So times are not a factor. As you take a look there at Nathaniel Harmon, we've called his name a lot so far today. So he's one we'll be looking to see a fast time. Although, as I mentioned, this is pure racing. 1st and 2nd place advances. You have to beat the man next to you, not worry about time. You just have to win the race. Changes the strategy a little bit, affects the way certainly the older competitors are going to skate. These younger levels, I mean, these guys and gals down here in the 6 to 9, they just go out there and skate about as fast as they can, all the time, all the way. And we're excited to see that here in just a moment. Looking to get this race started promptly as soon as they figure out the issue down there. As you can see off to the left of your screen, an official speaking very loudly to this group here. That's who they're all looking at off to, again, the left of your screen. She seems to have the answer to whatever is causing the holdup, and hopefully they're able to get that communication straightened out here shortly. As the conversation continues, we'll take a chance to look a little bit down the schedule here today. We're in the middle, or just gotten started really, with our rookie challenge short heats. It's the 6 to 9-year-old boys that we're looking at right now. Up next, we're going to do the 10 to 13-year-old boys. Then we're going to do the 6 to 9-year-old girls, 10 to 13-year-old girls, 14 to 17-year-old ladies. Once you move into that 10 to 13 age group, the race goes from 3 laps to 5. And we're going to continue to do all the heats that are needed, and then we're going to tack on the semifinals that we need for the 6 to 9-year-old boys, the 10 to 13-year-old boys. Once that's done, we'll be able to move on to the short heat finals, where we add a couple of age groups. We'll have the 5 and under girls and boys, 6 to 9-year-old girls, 10 to 13-year-old girls, 6 to 9-year-old boys, 10 to 13-year-old boys, 14 to 17-year-old women and men, and then the adult divisions following after that to round out our short heat championship rounds here in the Rookie Challenge. So a lot of racing left for us today. We're going to bring it all to you live at usrollerspeedskating.com. I hope you didn't make any plans, because we are going to bring all of the American Championship racing sponsored by Comcast to you tonight and throughout the week. Looks like we have got it all sorted out down in the timing box, and we are ready to go. Heat 2, 6 to 9-year-old boys 300-meter race, and the all-out sprint has begun. Caden Castle, Nathaniel Harmon leading the way. Darius Cooper there as well. Now Castle and Harmon. Harmon pumping his legs around the outside, nearly loses his balance, holds on, and he's still in second. So a great save there by Harmon. It's Castle and Harmon to the bell. Harmon going to try again around that first turn. This time he's successful, and he is absolutely turning it on here on the final lap. So near disaster averted for Nathaniel Harmon, and he takes the heat. Caden Castle in second. Those are your qualifiers for the semifinals, as Nathaniel Harmon, hands on the head, hopefully a smile on the face, as the adrenaline has to be pumping in that young man. As we take a look at the final results, a 35.8 for Harmon, almost exactly a second faster than Castle. Those are your qualifiers, Harmon and Castle. So from near disaster to the win for Nathaniel Harmon, as he is moving on. And Heat 3 is moving on as well, getting ready to get started. 4 skater heat here in this one. We've got Casey Starkey, Sean Cook, Oliver Hutchins, and Abhay Sharma competing in Heat 3. Top 2 advance to the semifinals. They are ready for the start. And a clean start in the sprint. Out early, it's Starkey. Starkey and Cook. Starkey, then Cook, then Hutchins. Those are your top 3. Sharma out there as well. 1 lap down. Starkey still in control, chased by Cook. Cook starting to close the gap down, and there goes Cook. Opportunity to pass if he can get to the turn first. Looks like he does. Little bit of contact. They both stay up. Cook in first. Nice move there by Sean Cook. Cook and Starkey. 1 lap to go. Excuse me, that was the checkered flag. I told you, those sprint races come fast. They're over before you know it. And in this case, it's Sean Cook beating Casey Starkey, as the 2 of them advance to the semifinals. Sean Cook, Casey Starkey, as we take a look at the final time difference, about a quarter of a second between first and second. So that nifty move by Cook at the beginning of the last lap was what he needed to get the win. Cook and Starkey on to the semifinals. And we're ready with our next race. So another 3-lap race here. That's heat number 4. Out in front, it's Brandon McNair now giving up the top spot to Huff. Huff and McNair right together, 1-2. Now Huff starting to leave a little distance between himself and McNair. Isaias Tullis and Sam Swain out there battling for third, but it's Huff who's going to take first. And then there you see McNair coming through in second. So Huff and McNair advancing to the semis as we take a look at our final times. So Huff putting a big gap on McNair over just 3 short laps. Great job there by him. Huff and McNair on to the finals. Tullis and Swain rounding out the field. So our next race getting set to go is our 10 to 13-year-old girls rookie challenge 500 meter heat 1. Again, as I had mentioned previously, the 10 to 13 division is where the sprint race goes from 3 laps to 5. So 500 meters for Rachel Wanick, Emma Reif, and Leticia Ditro. So Ditro making her return to the track after that big fall in the 1500 meter final. And out of the gate, it is Ditro out in front, followed closely by Wanick and Reif behind them. Reif starting to fall off the pace a little bit here now as we see Ditro and Wanick, as we've already seen a couple of times today, going head-to-head, 1-2 in a race. Halfway through now, Ditro and Wanick. Ditro's led the whole way. Wanick seems like she's content to take second and advance to the final. 2 laps to go. First and second place are going to qualify, so Ditro and Wanick both looking good as they hit the bell. They're going to be able to coast on through into the final. And you see both of them not exerting too much extra effort there at the end, safely through our Ditro and Wanick as we take a look at their times. Just over 1 minute and 1 second for both, and that was not Kari Davis. That is, they're getting ready for the next race down there. It was Emma Reif who finished out that previous heat. So heat 2 now on the track with Kari Davis in the middle, Shy Monroe on the inside, and Kylie Johnson on the outside starting position. So 2 Claremore Chaos skaters in Davis and Monroe, and the fast forward skater in Johnson. And it's the 2 Claremore skaters who appeared to have gotten off the line fastest, and indeed they did. As we see there, Monroe and Davis, 1 and 2, neck and neck after lap 1. Now Davis sliding into first place. The Chaos looking comfortably 1 and 2. Kylie Johnson about 3 seconds behind the pace, as now Davis starting to open up a bit of a gap on her teammate Monroe. So Claremore, they've got 2 girls headed for the final, it looks like. As you see there, Kylie Johnson, 1 lap to go as we rejoin our leader. Davis and Monroe now at the bell. Through the final turn without issue, Davis and Monroe. So 2 Claremore Chaos skaters heading to the final. And we've got 1 more heat of our 10 to 13-year-old girls rookie challenge 500 meter. As we take a look there at those final times, Davis with the 101, Monroe about a half second back with the 102, and Kylie Johnson a very respectable 107, rounding out the heat. So here we are on the line, and you see the timers not ready, asking the starter to wait. So it gives us an opportunity to run down the list of the competitors here in Heat 3. We've got Layla Wishard, Gabriella Carl, Reagan Polachak, and Caitlin Wyman. So we've seen Gabriella Carl. She took the championship in the long race. We'll see if she can qualify through to the final here in the short distance as well. And a clean start. And out in front it is Wishard. Wishard, then Carl. Behind them, Polachek. So a 2 neck and neck around the corner. Carl finding space on the inside. You see Wishard almost shaking her head. She couldn't believe she found the space to get through. Halfway through the race, it is Carl and Wishard out in front, laying claim to those 2 qualifying spots. Gabriella Carl looking good as she rounds the corner for the bell. Layla Wishard right there as well. No real reason to contest the race here for Wishard. She is safely through to the final. As you see, there is Gabriella Carl and Layla Wishard crossing the finish line. So Gabriella Carl showing some speed as well as stamina as she gets the victory in Heat 3 after claiming the championship in the 1500. As we take a look at our final board, Gabriella Carl in there at just over a minute flat. So that is, I believe, the fastest qualifying time we saw. Layla Wishard coming in just behind. So those are your 2 qualifiers as Polachek and Janae Zimmerman round out the field in heat number 3. And that also rounds out the that rounds out that age division. So we move on. Excuse me, it does not. I misread my sheet here. It's heat number 4. So 1 more heat for the 10 to 13-year-old girls. Out in front early, it's Kendra Bingela, followed by Cheyenne Bivens. Nishka Sabani and Renee Lucy also out there as Bingela putting some space between herself and Bivens. Bindula, with 2 laps to go, has opened up quite the lead. You can see the space there. As the bell rings for Bindula, you see Bivens just now crossing the line onto that final lap as Bindula rounds the final turn. And that was the checkered flag for Bindula and Bivens. Oh, well-run races by both of those ladies as CSC Speed. You take a look at the final times. Kendra Bindula, 103 of CSC Speed, and Cheyenne Bivens from Bell's Speed Club. Moving on. You see there, that's where we are, the American Championships of U.S. Roller Speed Skating. As we see our 10 to 13-year-old boys, Heat 1, stepping to the line. This heat featuring Tyson Fletcher from Central Florida Speed, Donathan Dietrich of Team Illini, and his teammate Bryson Gerling. Also Jake Edwards of CSC Speed and Sawyer Smith from the Stallions. This is the first of 4 heats in our 10 to 13-year-old boys rookie challenge 500-meter race. First and second place in each heat advances to the semifinals. You see there Bryson Gerling and Donathan Dietrich, as well as Sawyer Smith and Jake Edwards. Just hanging out at the starting line, you know, talking amongst themselves while the officials figure out what's next. And there is the gun, and as we've seen so many times already today, Central Florida Speed out in front. Tyson Fletcher, my goodness, after 1 lap, he's nearly a third of a lap ahead of the rest of the field. It's Donathan Dietrich who's in second, a distant second it is, and Bryson Gerling behind him. So Tyson Fletcher looking set to take first place, and Dietrich with a quite nice cushion over Gerling as well. So those are your 2 qualifiers as things stand, with just over a lap to go for Fletcher as he takes the bell. And you could see him take some of the pressure off of himself, off of the pace there as soon as he heard the bell. Now cruising around the final turn. And there is Tyson Fletcher for the win, and Donathan Dietrich into second place. So those 2 are going to move on to the semifinals. As we take a look at our final times, Fletcher coming in 56.3, well under a minute for Fletcher. Dietrich just over a minute, and Gerling at the 101.5. So heat 2 now out on the line. Christian Mendez, Jaden Roberts, Tristan Boyd, Grayson Losey, and Elijah Walker. And we are ready to go. And Mendez with the fast start. Once again, Central Florida Speed out in front. It's Mendez in front of Roberts. So Roberts chasing after Mendez. Mendez well out in front. Very fast start. Almost kind of a borderline false start, it looked like to me. But nothing came up on the chip. So good for Christian Mendez as he is continuing to push his way towards the final. Chased by Roberts. And Roberts now with some company from Tristan Boyd. That's going to get interesting for that second qualifying position as Mendez has this thing well in hand. We can stay here with these two as there's the bell for Mendez, but the race now, Tristan Boyd taking second as we see him there. And Boyd making a move there on lap number 3, and he is going to handily beat Jaden Roberts for second place and a chance to advance. So Tristan Boyd coming up in the late stages as all three of those guys come in under a minute. Christian Mendez a 53.4, truly impressive time there. Boyd with the 58.5, and then Roberts who gave up that second place to Boyd there at about the middle of lap 3, and he's going to finish in third, out of qualifying, out of contention here at the sprint distance. Heat 3 now as we move right along in our 10 to 13 year old boys 500 meter rookie challenge qualifying heats. Ved Patel of Central Florida Speed, he's going to look to get the win in his heat just like all his teammates did. He'll be challenged in this one by Tristan Starkey of the Claremore Chaos, Braden Waite, Jesse Smith, and Abe Kronberg. And we've got a false start on Patel this time. So we saw him false start once in the long distance. Here it's a little bit of a bigger deal because you need a good start. You don't want to be tentative. That false start is also going to follow Patel into the semifinals, and then if he were to qualify, into the finals. So that false start potentially looming large here for Ved Patel. But a clean start on the second try, and Patel not showing any tentativeness off the line. Concern for that false start as he is out in front. It's Tristan Starkey giving chase, as well as Jesse Smith and Braden White, but Patel out in front, as we've seen these Central Florida gentlemen do in the previous two heats. Got a nice big lead here about halfway through. He's going to coast to the end. There you see the race for second between Starkey and Smith, and Braden Waite trying to get up there and have something to say about it as well as we rejoin the leader as he heads for the bell. Ved Patel all alone out front. Easy victory for him as there's the race for second. Only one of them can qualify. Starkey and Smith. Starkey stretching the foot out. Looks like he did just enough to hold off Jesse Smith. So Tristan Starkey going to join Ved Patel in the semifinals out of Heat 3. As you see, there it is. So all three Central Florida Speed skaters getting the win in their heats. Patel turning in that 56-second time. Starkey 0.2 ahead of Smith. It looked closer here in the arena than that, but Starkey doing a good job holding on and getting second for the chance to advance. Waite and Kronberg looks like he DQ'd somewhere along the way. So that's the update and the official times for heat number 3. So we head back to the start. Heat number 4, our final heat in the 10 to 13 year old boys 500 meter rookie challenge. This one's got Dax Pilkington, Luke Armstrong, Kavan Woodruff, Logan Gaudreau, and Seth Carlson. So Dax Pilkington finally finding himself free of those three Central Florida Speed skaters you know he's going to want to take advantage of that and get the heat win, or certainly qualify and move on to the next round. And we are ready to go. And a clean start, a rough start there for Kevon Woodruff, but not for Dax Pilkington, as he is out in front early. Luke Armstrong right behind. So it's Pilkington and Armstrong here midway through the second lap. Pilkington with a nice cushion. A little bit of breathing room there over Armstrong, and those two with even more breathing room over Gaudreau, who is racing third from the Stallions. You saw Gaudreau there as we catch back up with Pilkington. 2 laps to go. Pilkington and Armstrong set to qualify as things stand. Pilkington cruising now to the victory. There's the bell. As Pilkington and Armstrong, the only two in the frame there, you can see they have distanced themselves from the field. And Pilkington with the heat win, as we catch up with Woodruff and Carlson there briefly, and then you see there Pilkington and Armstrong turning in sub 1 minute races. Gaudreau 1:02, a nice effort from him, but only the top two do qualify. And then Woodruff and Carlson rounding things out. Okay, up next are 6 to 9 year old girls. 2 heats, top 2 in each heat, moving straight to the finals. For the 6 to 9 year old girls, heat 1, Lainey Ringgold. She's been dominant in her races up to this point. McKenna Luther, we've called her name a bit as well. Then Brindley Hines, Venetia Gopinath, and Janiyah Washington here in heat number 1. And we've got a false start on our first attempt here. And it looks like it was probably on Ringgold, but we're not 100% sure. There were a few that it looks like it could be on. Of course, the penalty assigned only to the one who goes first and draws everyone else. It looks like it's going to be Janiyah Washington this time. So Janiyah Washington on the outside gets that yellow card for the false start. A little bit of instruction there from our starting official. Try to help her not get disqualified, which is what another false start would do. A wide variety of starting stances there from all of these competitors. Yeah, got to make sure that skate's behind the line. And a clean start. And just like we would have expected, Lainey Ringgold out in front early. Ringgold chased by Luther. It's Ringgold and Luther out in front, and everyone else trying to chase them. Brindley Hines making a bit of a game effort to get involved from back in the 3rd place spot. But it is Ringgold, and there you see McKenna Luther solidly in 2nd place. So she would be set to qualify as things stand, and Lainey Ringgold once again out in front as she takes the checkered flag in the 6 to 9 division. We're back down to that 300-meter race, so it'll be Ringgold and Luther advancing on as you see the rest of our field finishing up. And we take a look at those final times. Ringgold and Luther good times, and everyone else very respectable in the 40-second range as well. Now we're ready. Heat number 2. Claire Pilkington, Alexis Turlow, Tanya Prabhu, and Diana Ganasan. And we're going to have a false start. It's going to be either on Pilkington or possibly Turlow as well. A bunch of them jumped early. So we'll see who the officials deem went first and drew everybody else off. And it's going to be out on the outside, Diana Ganasan, who jumped the gun. Clean start on the reset. Out in front, it's Pilkington and Turlow. Pilkington, then Turlow. Then Prabhu and Ganasan, but Pilkington nicely out in front. The other three bunched together where we could have something of a race for second if they're not able to close the gap on Pilkington. Pilkington, those pink skates that are her signature, just a blur as she comes around for the bell. There's a fall at the back. That looked like a hard fall by Ganasan. Pilkington continuing to race, although she did give up some time there. Turlow and Prabhu close for second, but Turlow handling business there at the end, crossing over in second place. And we see there after the hard fall, Diana Ganasan just skating out of the frame and across the finish line. So a nice job of finishing the race there by her. As we take a look at our standings, Pilkington, the 39.4, Turlow 39.8, and Prabhu right there as well. Unfortunate for her that she cannot make it into the next round based on that time. She is done for the sprint. So Pilkington and Turlow are through with sub 40 times. Good long look there. You can see the last times. The last laps, the best laps that everyone made. The best lap actually belongs to Prabhu, as she was closing the gap there late. And we'll head back to the starting line. Heat number 1 of our 14 to 17-year-old ladies division. Kenna Pfeiffer, Alyssa Rohn, and Hannah Porter. Out in front early is Pfeiffer. So we've seen Pfeiffer do well in the long distance. Now she is asserting herself early in this heat as well. So Pfeiffer out in front, Rohn and Porto neck and neck back there for that second qualifying spot. As we see there, Pfeiffer in control, and now Rowan opening up a bit of distance between her and Porto for second as we head towards the bell for Pfeiffer. There you see Rowan and Porto in the distance behind her. So what started as a very close race for second has since been handled. So Pfeiffer in for an easy win. Alyssa Rohn gonna coast through as well. There she goes. And Hannah Porto rounding out the field. So a 3-woman race. The top 2 advance as we take a look at that top time from Kenna Pfeiffer, 55.55. So very nice time there. Alyssa Rohn also getting under a minute. And some of those best lap times getting sub 11. And that is a really, really fast speed to go on those big wheels of an inline speed skate. As we head now to heat number 2. This one featuring Sabrina Labs, Jaden Turner, Amy Bolin, and Morgan Lambert. clean start on the first try. Labs out in front. We've seen her go out strong early and fade late, but there is no late in the sprint distance. This is a distance designed for what we've seen Sabrina Labs do so far today. Tailing behind her is Jaden Turner. The two of them are out in front of Bolin and Lambert. Labs and Turner look set to qualify halfway through the race now. No change for Labs and Turner as we head to the bell. They're both going to easily coast into the finals. As we see the checkered flag for Sabrina Labs, and there's Jaden Turner. Bolin and Lambert finishing as well as Sabrina Labs coasting, letting that momentum dissipate so she can make her way safely off the floor. And we'll take a look at those times. Labs with a 56.7, very nice, very fast last lap as well, nearly as fast as her best lap. So consistent, fast skating from Sabrina Labs. Jaden Turner also in with a time under a minute. And now to our 14 to 17-year-old men in the 500-meter rookie challenge. Heat number 1 featuring Mason Liebhaber, Glenn Bunnell, and Addison Luther. So we see once again we have an official conference down there, getting something straightened out. We want our officials to make sure they get everything right when it comes to these races. And heat number 1 is on the track. Liebhaber out in front, followed by Bunnell. Luther in third, trying to stay in contact with Bunnell for a chance at the qualifying spot. But Mason Liebhaber in complete control of this one. You can see the distance between himself and the other two as Bunnell giving chase, but mostly just trying to hang on and hold off Addison Luther, as Luther is making up some ground. You see Mason Liebhaber, though, all by himself in complete control of this one. Here's the bell for Liebhaber, and there's Bunnell and Luther. So Luther had closed that gap somewhat a couple laps ago, but as you see Liebhaber finish, and there's Bunnell hanging on easily. So the challenge that Luther looked like he was going to try to put up there in the middle portion of the race never did materialize. And it's Liebhaber and Bunnell, as you can see here on our official time scoreboard. Liebhaber, the 51.3, exactly 3 seconds faster than Bunnell. And then Luther rounding things out with the 55.080. Back to the starting line we go. 14 to 17-year-old men's rookie challenge 500-meter race. Heat number 2 coming at you. Nathaniel Hines, Sam Ringgold, Caden Gerling, and Tyler Stewart. And a clean start. Looks like Ringgold might have gone a little early, but not according to the officials. So good for him as he used that great start to get out in front. Hines right there with him, and Caden Gerling in third, though running out of time to make a move to move up. So it is Ringgold and Hines, as you see Ringgold continuing to push the pace. Ringgold, 2 laps to go. Hines now coasting maybe a bit too soon, as you see Gerling stalking him there, looking for that second spot. Sam Ringgold, he's in no danger, and it looks like Nathaniel Hines maybe heard his coach say something, or he sensed it. But we are done here, and it was Ringgold and Hines taking the top 2 spots and qualifying through to the finals. As you see, competitors taking their cool down laps. We'll go to the board and take a look. 54.057 and 54.6. So a pretty close race there by the end of it. As you see, Nathaniel Hines' fastest lap was his last lap, so he got stronger and closed the gap on his way to qualifying for the finals. So now on the floor we have our semifinals in our 6 to 9-year-old boys division of the Rookie Challenge. It's a 300-meter race again. So 300 meters for as we had a false start there. So everyone back to the starting line. And the card is going to go on the stallion skater Ethan Rivera Rosado. He's been down this road before, so you know he'll be careful here on the restart. And a clean start this time, and it's Winfield out in front, then Huff. So Winfield and Huff at it again. They were the top 2 finishers in their heat to get here, and are set to be the top 2 finishers to move on to the final with 1 lap to go. Winfield in first place this time. Last time it was Huff who ended up with the heat win, as Winfield and Huff continue to run 1-2 with Rivera Rosado in third behind them, and McNair rounding out the field as Winfield and Huff do cross the line 1-2. They will be moving on to that final round of the championship here in the Rookie Challenge 6 to 9-year-old boys. We take a look at those times. Winfield and Huff 35.8 and 35.9 respectively, so very, very fast for the 2 of them. In our second heat, we have Nathaniel Harmon, Sean Cook, Caden Castle, and Casey Starkey. Harmon won heat 2, Cook won heat 3. So there are our top qualifiers, and then Castle and Starkey were second in their respective heats. And semifinal 2 on the line, clean start. as Casey Starkey from an outside position, but he works his way. Looked like he was going to take the lead, but Harmon able to slip inside. So it's Harmon and Starkey, 1 and 2 in qualifying position after 1. Harmon and Starkey with Sean Cook in there as well. 1 lap to go. Cook looking to move into second place around Starkey. He does. So it's Harmon and Cook now 1-2. Starkey still right there. Chance to make a move. Last chance passed him by, and it is Harmon and Starkey Harmon and Cook who are going to advance to the finals. You take a look there at a great race. Harmon, Cook separated by about half a second. Starkey right in there as well, and then Caden Castle. So we'll move on to our next division that required a semifinal. So take a look there once again at our starting line, and here you can see our officials. Some discussion going on about qualifications for semifinals and finals. And we hope they're able to accurately get all that straightened out. As you saw there, the official skating he skated out of the frame over to where the contestants are. Now that's what we like to see, contestants moving on to the floor. And these contestants are our 10 to 13 boys, 500 meter semifinal 1. That's Tyson Fletcher right there on the inside, Dax Pilkington at 275 helmet number from the Claremore Chaos, and then the 2 Team Illini skaters, Jonathan Dietrich and Luke Armstrong. So Dax Pilkington and Tyson Fletcher, your heat winners in this one, as Fletcher won heat 1, Pilkington the winner in heat 4, and they will go head to head now here in semifinal 1. So it'll take another second here. Once again, we're moving up to the 5-lap, 500-meter race as we've moved up age divisions, 10 to 13. Coming up in our next race, it's going to be Christian Mendez and Ved Patel, both of Central Florida Speed, racing in Boyd, and Tristan Starkey. So 2 Tristans in that one as they finish second in heat 2 and heat 3. Now we're back. Off the line, heat number 1, Tyson Fletcher jumping out in front yet again. Dax Pilkington right there with him this time. So Pilkington closing the gap down much more than he was able to in the first lap previously when he's gone up against those Central Florida Speed skaters. It is Fletcher and Pilkington, Dietrich and Armstrong in there as well, striking distance if somebody stumbles up at the front. So Fletcher and Pilkington set to qualify as things stand. 2 laps to go. Pilkington right there with Fletcher as they head to the bell. And Pilkington now looking content to be second. He's going to get himself into that final along with Fletcher as he finished his second. Dietrich and Armstrong finishing very close together as well as we take a look at the board. Everybody under a minute in that one. Fletcher and Pilkington coming in under 58, 4/10 apart, and they are on to the final in the Rookie Challenge Championship for the 500-meter race. 10 to 13-year-old boys division, heat number 2. Semifinal number 2, to say it properly, is on the line now. We went over it once before. We'll do it again. Christian Mendez inside, starting position. Ved Patel, he's racing with a false start, so that false start has followed him into the semifinal from the heat, and it will follow him to the final should he qualify. Racing alongside those two Central Florida speed racers are the Tristans, Boyd and Starkey. And a clean start for everyone. Mendez and Patel out in front. Then Starkey, then Boyd racing with that cast on his right hand. So Mendez out in front early. Patel, saw him move the feet fast around the corner, trying to close the gap a little bit at least. So Central Florida 1-2. They are looking to qualify all 3 of their skaters into the final and are looking good to do it as 2 laps to go for Mendez and Patel. Starkey not staying out of the picture, went a little wide back there on turn 2 as Mendez gets the bell. Mendez, then Patel. Mendez coming around for the checkered flag. There it is. Christian Mendez and Ved Patel. And a very, very good effort by Tristan Starkey as he falls just short of the final, finishing 3rd here in semifinal number 2. Take a look at the times. You thought the last heat was fast. Bad luck for Tristan Starkey as his 58.9 would have been right there, giving him a chance for 2nd place in that heat, semifinal number 1. But it's Dan Patel advancing as the boys from Florida, Leesburg, Florida to be specific, continuing to dominate the 10 to 13-year-old boys rookie challenge. And it's our final division with the need for a semifinal. It's our 10 to 13-year-old girls division. And this is semifinal number 1. It's going to feature Leticia Ditro as the winner of Heat 1. Kendra Bingela, the winner of Heat 4. Rachel Wanek took 2nd in Heat 1. And Cheyenne Bivens took 2nd in Heat number 4. So fast forward, CSC, Team Illini, and Bell Speed Club represented here in semifinal number 1. And a false start. Looked like Ditro was leaning a little early, but I didn't see her feet move as we had a great shot there of all the skaters. So I think the card's gonna go to someone farther on the outside of the starting line, but we'll see what the officials think. And in fact, it is Ditro who catches the card. We saw her lean, but I didn't think she left quite early, but I guess I was wrong. They're actually gonna go ahead and give it to Bivens. So a little bit of miscommunication there from the official early as the card is not for Ditro, but for Bivens. So Cheyenne Bivens now with the false start. And you see the communication. Now we've got it straightened out. See Ditro with the game face on there at the starting line. but it is Wanek, Rachel Wanek from the outside, skating wide around. She tried to get in front. Detro cut her off. She still ends up in second. It is Detro, and then Wanek, and then Bivens. They're your top three. Kendra Bindula, slow start she hasn't been able to recover from up to this point. Now Detro and Wanek leaving the other two behind. They hold the two qualifying spots as things stand here halfway through. Detro and Wanek in qualifying position. Here's the bell. Detro and Wanek cruising towards the finals now. Wanek staying close with Detro, but no reason to contest the race when she's safely through with that second place finish. So we'll see what kind of times those ladies put up as we watch Detro head off the floor. So Letitia Detro in at 1 minute and change. Rachel Wanek right behind, about 4/10. And then Bindula ended up surging late and taking third. Bivens dropping back to fourth there in semifinal number 1. So semifinal number 2 now taking position at the line. You've got Kari Davis, the winner of Heat 2, Gabriella Carl, winner of Heat 3. Shy Monroe, who took second in Heat 2, and Layla Wishard, who took second in Heat 3. And a clean start. A bit of a jumble there around turn 1. Wishard, the beneficiary, as she's out in front. Carl behind her. So Layla Wishard taking advantage around the first turn of the first lap. Now it is Wishard and Carl. Davis all the way back at the back after winning her heat. Now making a move up into third. Halfway through, Davis with work to do. Wishard and Carl just trying to hold what they have as they have 2 laps to go. There's Carl going down hard, no contact, just tripping up, so she's going to be out of it. Wishard now cleanly in for a position at first as the battle for second now between Shy Monroe and Kari Davis. So Wishard there in first. Monroe and Davis battling for that final position as we see Davis edging out Shy Monroe. So some high drama there in semifinal 2 for the 10 to 13-year-old girls division. It is Layla Wishard, excuse me, as you see there, coming in just over a minute flat. Kari Davis just beating out Shy Monroe for that second and final qualifying spot. And of course, Gabriella Carl once again dealing with the crash and ending up down at the bottom of our final leaderboard. We will be bringing you the finals of our short distance races in just a bit, but in the meantime, we're going to show you the long distance awards for our adult divisions. It's our 18 and up division and our 30 plus division. So let's hand out some hardware.
Hannah Hawley from Olympic Speed. Yay!
Congratulations.
And Hannah has set a new record in this event.
Amazing. How do you do it?
1500 meter final. In third place, we have Will Zandler from the Stallions. In second place, we have Paul Rector III from Kentucky Speed.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
And in first place, we have Nick Hoffman from Kentucky Speed.
Nikos.
With a new record for that event.
Congratulations. Thank you. feeling we can get buzzers. I will look at it.
In third place, from Infinity Racing, Shannon Dagenhart. In second place from the Stallions, Jamie Smith. And in first place from the Stallions, Monica Gorgas.
This is almost as tall as I am.
I know. We're close.
Thank you.
The rookie 30 and above men 1500 meter final. In third place from Team Illini, Chris Thurlow.
Get in here, Jamie. Thank you.
In second place from the Stallions, Chris Lavone. And in first place from Synergy, Marquivas Humphrey. With a new record in that event.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I fall over. Thank you.
All right, congratulations to all of our winners. Hope you'll stay tuned. We've got more medals to give out. The short race finals coming up next. Sorry, I was still. And welcome back, everyone. We're in our short race finals as the 5 and under girls are now out on the track. We got Tazaria Cooper and Afia Garach out there, and it is Cooper who's out in front big here in the early going, and she's already on the bell. And there's the checkered flag for Cooper. So Tazaria Cooper with another first place finish, and there's Afia Garach coming around the final turn. She is going to take second here in this 5 and under girls 300 meter rookie challenge final. You take a look there at the final numbers. Cooper turning in a 31.4 and Garach turning in a 43.3. So now to the line, our 5 and under boys, 300 meter final. It's Jake Brown and Camden Hines. Jake Brown on the inside there from fast forward. Hines coming in from the Claremore Chaos. So these two are going to contest this. It is a 200 meter, a 2-lap race for the 5 and unders. And off the line it is Brown with the good start. So Jake Brown with the early lead. And there's the bell for Jake Brown. So final turn now for Brown. There's the checkered flag. Congratulations to Jake Brown. And here is Camden Hines. So Camden gonna come around those final couple turns and cross the line for his second silver medal of the day. There you see the times. Jake Brown with a 32.79 and Camden Hines with a 50.133. Up next, we move up a lap. We move up in age group. It's our 6 to 9 year old girls in the Rookie Challenge 300 meter. This final, Lainey Ringgold, the winner of semifinal 1. Claire Pilkington, the winner of semifinal 2. McKenna Luther, who finished second in semifinal 1. And Alexis Turlow, who finished second in semifinal 2. Those are your 4 finalists here in the 6 to 9 division. Girls Rookie Challenge. And a big false start there. No doubt about that one. As McKenna Luther way, way early. And a clean start on try number 2. Out in front early, it's Ringgold. As we've seen so often, Pilkington right behind. Ringgold and Pilkington. McKenna Luther in third. And Ringgold extending the lead throughout lap 2 as she heads for the bell. There goes Luther. You see now tightening up between Pilkington and Luther. Ringgold all alone, well on her way. And there's the checkered flag for the win. And second is going to be Pilkington. Third going to McKenna Luther after the false start. So nice job there, Lainey Ringgold, getting the gold medal. As we look at our final time, Ringgold, nice 3-second advantage, just about over the rest of the podium, who came in right back-to-back, Pilkington and Luther. Alexis Turlow also putting up a nice time. So our 10 to 13-year-old girls final in the 500-meter race. Letitia Ditro, Layla Wishart, Rachel Wanek, and Kari Davis. So we've got Wishart and Ditro 1-2. Just learned that Letitia Ditro is deaf. And that's why she faces inside at the starting line so she can see the light go off because she can't hear the buzzer. So great story there, Letitia Ditro finding a way to make it work, and just a tremendous racer as she is in a battle now with teammate Layla Wishart. So Wishart and Ditro running 1-2 for fast forward. Wanek in third, but a ways back now. Ditro making the move. Wishart trying to hold her off. She can't do it. Ditro slipping through to the bell, and Wishart, looks like that broke her resolve a little bit when Ditro got by her. She's not really trying to match the move, and in fact has let Wanek close the gap as it's Ditro, Wishart, and Wanek 1, 2, 3. So tremendous job, Letitia Ditro, coming back after, of course, the hard crash in the long distance race, and now getting the gold medal here in the sprint distance. We take a look there at those very fast times for Ditro and Wishart, especially Wanek and Kari Davis as well. All coming in there right together, a couple of seconds separating 1 and 4. Great race in the final. As we move on to our next final. And this one is the 6 to 9-year-old boys. So we're back down to the 3-lap, 300-meter race. Thomas Winfield, Nathaniel Harmon, Damian Huff, and Sean Cook competing in this one. Huff skating with that false start. So he has no room for error off the line here in this final. So a clean start, and it is Harmon out in front. Nathaniel Harmon followed by Thomas Winfield. Harmon, then Winfield, then Cook. Huff all the way at the back. He's going to have to make some big moves if he wants to get on the podium. As we see there, Sean Cook sliding up into second around Winfield. Harmon appearing to have things well in hand here as we're on the final lap. It's going to be Harmon and then Cook. Winfield, can Winfield hold off Huff? Yes, he can. So Nathaniel Harmon with the big win. Sean Cook getting in there for silver, and Thomas Winfield hanging on for bronze. Final look, very fast times there. Getting under 11 seconds was Harmon with a couple of his laps. So a great job by him. 35 seconds, just over, then 36 seconds for the rest of the field. So very tight race between those four. Next final coming at you 10 to 13-year-old boys division rookie challenge 500-meter race. Back up to the 5-lap distance. Out there we have the 3 Central Florida speed boys, Fletcher, Mendez, and Patel. Joining them is Pilkington. So Pilkington versus Central Florida, round 2. Here we go. And it is Central Florida, 1, 2, 3. Looks like it is Mendez, Fletcher, and Patel. Pilkington staying with them through the first couple laps. Mendez staying out in front of Fletcher. Mendez and Fletcher now pulling away from Patel and Pilkington. Mendez and Fletcher. Patel and Pilkington. 2 laps to go. Patel starting to push the pace. He's made contact back with his teammates. Pilkington staying right there. There's the bell. Final lap. Patel has closed with Fletcher. Mendez looking strong. Patel, one more chance to make a move. Not going to do it. It's going to be Mendez, Fletcher, Patel. Another 1, 2, 3 Central Florida sweep as Christian Mendez continues to roll through the 10 to 13-year-old boys rookie division. Take a look at those final times. They were flying around the track. 53 seconds for the top 2 finishers, 54 for third, and then Pilkington staying right with them. A very scrappy Dax Pilkington stepping up and competing with those 3 guys from Central Florida. Very impressed with his 55 as well. 14 to 17-year-old ladies division. Final race features Kenna Pfeiffer, Sabrina Lobbs, Alyssa Roan, and Jaden Turner. Clean start, and it is Pfeiffer out in front, Lobbs in second. Little bit of contact around the first turn. Pfeiffer got the better of it. Lobbs in second, tailed closely by Turner and Roan. So Pfeiffer out in front, Lobbs, Turner, and Roan. Halfway through the race, Pfeiffer in control. There you see Lobbs and Turner battling for second. Back to the leader, Kenna Pfeiffer at the bell. 1 lap to go. Smooth sailing for the fast forward skater. And a fall in turn 4. Turner goes down trying to pass Lobbs. And that allows Alyssa Roan to come up and take the bronze medal. So bad luck for Jaden Turner, none though for Kenna Pfeiffer. Smooth sailing from the front of the pack for her. As we take a look at those final times, Kenna Pfeiffer at 53, Lobbs at 56, Roan at 58, and Turner had been right behind Lobbs even after falling, comes in at just over a minute flat. Now to the men's division, 14 to 17 age group, rookie challenge 500-meter short race. This one featuring Liebhaber, Ringgold, Bonnell, and Hines. Clean start, and out in front it is Liebhaber. Liebhaber followed by Hines. Bonnell in third. Ringgold at the back, but not for long as he makes a move. He gets around Bonnell. Is he going to be able to pick off Hines? Liebhaber out in front by a nice margin. As we go back to check in with him, Liebhaber all alone, the other 3 locked in a struggle for the podium. Liebhaber 2 laps to the bell, contact and a fall back in the pack, but Liebhaber not worried about that. It was Ringgold who went down. And that leaves Bonnell clear for silver and Hines for third as we catch up with our leader, Mason Liebhaber. And Liebhaber with the checkered flag. So first for him. Bonnell's going to take second. Nathaniel Hines third. As Sam Ringgold struggling after the fall. He's still skating. You see him out there. He's still got a couple laps. Looks like he's going to try to finish the race. Liebhaber, though, coming in with a 50.76, a good 4 seconds ahead of Bunnell. And Hines, another 3 seconds back from him as we rejoin Sam Ringgold, picking himself up off the floor. Big applause as he finishes the race. In obvious pain, shaking out that leg. We hope he's okay. Get a quick rest, and we'll see him again in our middle distance races. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break as our adults age divisions warm up. More racing from the American Championships in Colorado Springs after this.